Okay, we're back. Another video. This one is AI Dungeon. We are attempting to do a Sector Void rebirth here. I have a custom start. There's no story cards yet, but I do have memory turned on. So this one is called Sector Void, and let's see, it's sci-fi based, space, space travel. It should be good for now. So let's see. Lex is my character name. As the Nomad Transporter enters the lawless section of space of the Milky Way known as Sector Void. And that's it, the description. So uh, the plot, nothing yet. So I'm using for anybody who wonders, I typically use Mixtral, I believe it's pronounced, because it's 8,000 token window, context window. Is pretty impressive. And then as you see, I have memory turned on and summarization turned on, which I believe summary gets put somewhere here. Yeah, plot summary. So yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and continue here. So I did a start here. I did a straight custom. I didn't create a scenario with all the cards. I just kind of typed in this little very brief description here. Um, I am Lex, a nomad space transporter drifting through a lawless section in space called Sector Void. I have highly valuable items on board, but my engines recently got destroyed after fending off some space bandits. I'm now holding out while my distress signal is broadcasting, but not hopeful knowing of Sector Void's dangerous reputation. And then the AI follow with the cold, dark void of space surrounds you, punctuated only by the distant stars and the ominous drifting hulks of long abandoned ships. Your own vessel, the Lexicon, lists slowly, its damaged engines barely whispering a feeble hum. You can see the precious cargo containers, their metallic surfaces glinting in the starlight, strapped down in the cargo hold. So let's say that my character is just kind of, if I'm going to make this character kind of like Mad Max from specifically Road Warrior, the second one with Mel Gibson, which I recently saw, then I'm going to think that he is just kind of sitting on one of the cargo containers and has his feet up on something like a stool and just lighting a cigarette or some kind of, space cigarette, space cigar. So let's just do that here. So we'll take a turn. I am sitting on a small container with my legs up on a stool, lighting a cigar, waiting patiently, waiting patiently. Okay. The smell of tobacco fills the air as you light the cigar, the tip glowing in warm orange in the dimly lit cargo holds. You take a long draw, feeling the smoke fill your lungs before exhaling slowly. Cigar's comforting presence seems to momentarily distract you from the precarious situation you're in. Okay, good. So now we're going to not necessarily throw it in conflict just yet, but I'm going to think that we're going to have a notification hit his console. So he's broadcasting, we are broadcasting a distress signal. And let's say that story, I Lex, let's see, uh, moments later, a a faint radio signal is detected on Lex's console. He is barely able to hear it from across the cargo hold as it beeps as it is heard from the cockpit. Okay, let's see the story. That's a story entry. Moments later, a faint radio signal is detected in Lex's console. He's barely able to hear it from across the cargo as it heard in the cockpit. As you take another pull of your cigar, you hear a faint crackle coming from the radio on the console in the cockpit. Intrigued, you get up from your seat on the container and walk over to the cockpit, the sound of your footsteps echoing quietly in the stillness of the cargo hold. You take a seat in the pilot's chair and lean forward to adjust the radio. Okay, let's see here. I adjust my, I don't know, frequency parameters, maybe. I'm spelling that wrong. Parameters. And let's see, increase frequencies, increase the frequency to lock on the whoops, sudden signal. If that makes sense to anyone? As you adjust the parameters and increase the frequency, the faint crackle grows louder. And after a moment of static, a voice comes through the speakers. Unknown transmission. This is the Starlight Marauder. Calling any nearby vessels. We received a distress signal from your location. What is your situation and how many life forms are aboard? The voice is gruff but not unkind, and there is a hint of concern behind the words. Well, I am Lex the Lexicon, as humorous as that sounds. Let's see. I This is the Lexicon transport vessel of common goods. I have been attacked and stalled by recent, let's see, bandit activity. Only myself on the ship, damage to the engine, unable to, let's see, let's just say floating steadily, no power, relying on backup energy cells, need assistance or repair. Copy. Okay. Okay. After a brief moment of static, the voice responds, copy that lexicon. We'll see what we can do to assist you. The sector void is a treacherous place, and we wouldn't want to leave a fellow spacefarer stranded. Stand by and keep your transponder online. We en route to your location. Okay. So we pretty much got a tow truck incoming. All right. Let's see. I strap on my portable AI communicate. Whoops. Communicator. Let's just say portable communicator that is linked to my console. And let's also spell this correctly. Whoops. Communicator. There we go. I stand and walk back to the cargo hold to stand guard. I am aware of the value that these items hold and promised the delivery to go without issue. Okay. The sound of your footsteps echoes quietly as you make your way back to the cargo hold. Now armed with your portable communicator, you can check the device to ensure it's secured, linked to the console in the cockpit. You check with it. Once satisfied, you take up a position near the cargo hold's entrance, keeping a watchful eye on the valuable goods within. Your heart beats faster as you think of the potential danger that still lurks outside despite the incoming aid. Let's see. I take a tally of what containers remain on, well, in, let's say, aboard. Okay. As you stand guard near the cargo entrance, or cargo hold entrance, your gaze sweeps over the precious containers still strapped down in the hold. There are a total of 10 containers remaining. The metallic surfaces reflecting the dim light of the cargo hold. You can't help but feel a sense of unease as you count them, knowing that their value attracts both honest customers and unscrupulous bandits. So let's see what's been going on with the summary. Nothing so far. Let's check the context here. So we've used up 1,019 tokens, most of it the adventure. Let's see. It hasn't done a plot summary yet. Okay. Let's see. We'll just do this. We'll say that. Okay. His ship, his vessel was damaged by a group of space bandits. Now he awaits for aid. Okay. Hopefully, I'm hoping the AI will kind of casually update this. Again, I believe this is where the AI inputs the memory slash summary. So nothing really else is modified, but I do have it turned on. I think it will just summarize when I hit that certain threshold in the token count. So let's say we get up to, I don't know, maybe it's around here. It will throw the details into the summary, and then that way it knows what to draw from when it goes over 8,000. But then there's also the memory bank. And the memory bank, I don't think I have any access to. It's like it's behind the curtain kind of thing for the UI. Though I've said before that AI Dungeon has a lot of, as of now, has a lot of customization. There is scripting involved, and we can give instructions. You have this right here. These are the default instructions that AI Dungeon has, and let's see one second, guys. Sorry, I had to adjust the screen size because it was getting off the top here. But these are the basic instructions, I think, for this model, for Mixtrol. But you don't necessarily need it because we don't need to modify it. I'm relying on its default parameters, its default instructions. So, okay, now we're back to the adventure. So, as you stand guard at the nearby uh, cargo hold entrance, your gaze sweeps over the precious. Oh, I think we already read this part. They're total, yeah, 10 containers, right? Okay. So now I was going to check the condition of each container while noting it down on my digital pad. You begin to inspect each container carefully, running your hand over their surfaces, checking for any signs of damage. Your digital pad illuminates as you make notes, documenting the conditions of each container. After a thorough examination, you find that while scuffed and scratched from the earlier attack, all 10 containers remain intact and secure. Take your sleep, documenting. All right, so that works. So everything's fine. I'm going to maybe let's see, check the ship's life support system and energy backup energy cells. With the containers accounted for, you shift your attention to the life support system and backup energy cells. You make your way to the ship's energy engineering room. The sound of your footsteps, of course, it's always saying this, the sound of your footsteps echoing in the dimly lit corridors. Upon entering the engineering room, you're greeted with the familiar hum of machinery and soft glow of various displays. The first thing you check is the life support system, ensuring that the atmosphere within the ship remains breathable. All right. So let's say that let's throw some just a tad, sprinkle of conflict. The life support system appears to show 50% capacity. All right. You breathe a sign of relief as the life support system appears to be functioning within acceptable parameters. With the critical need met, you turn your attention to the backup energy cells. The backup energy cells are located in a secure compartment nearby. You assess the compartment and see that the energy cells are currently at 30% charged. This is enough to maintain a ship's essential systems for a short period, but it won't last long without external systems. Okay. I need to consider turning off some non-essential factors or systems. Okay, maybe let's see what it says. You consider the various non-essential systems on board the lexicon, trying to decide which ones to turn off to conserve energy. A moment of contemplation, you decide to disable the ship's lighting systems throughout most of the vessel, leaving only essential lights on in the cockpit and energy engineering room. You also disable all non-essential essential communication arrays and reduce the cooling for non-critical systems. Okay. The signature for usage of the energy cells appears to decrease, showing more to spare and a wider margin of use over time. The engineering room plunges into a relative darkness, now illuminated only by the dim emergency lights. The low hum of machinery and the soft glow of the displays create an eerie atmosphere, yet the measures you have taken provide some comfort, extending the lifespan of the backup energy cells. You take a final look around the engineering room before heading back to the cargo hold, where you resume your position near the entrance. Okay, now let's throw in a not a plot twist, but let's assume that the assistance is nearby. So there's a large rumble outside, basically. A massive ship is closing in, at least a ship double our size is closing in into our uh, immediate area nearby. While Lex stands in the cargo hold, he suddenly feels a massive rumble throughout the ship, potentially expecting the aid to have arrived. Okay, the rumble persists, growing louder and more intense, causing the cargo hold to vibrate beneath your feet. You brace yourself, gripping the container nearby to steady yourself. A series of muffled thumps echo throughout the hole as whatever is outside begins docking with with the lexicon. You can't help but feel a mixture of anxiety and anticipation, uncertain of what or who awaits you on the other side of the airlock. Right? This is going pretty well, actually. I run, or let's just say I walk briskly to the cockpit to see who or what, like it says, is docking outside my ship. As you enter the cockpit, you quickly make your way to the pilot's chair and strap yourself in. Your heart races as you focus on the external monitoring systems, trying to discern any details about the vessel now attached to the Lexicon. The radar indicates a ship of considerable size, likely a cruiser, perhaps a frigate. Ah, frigate. Okay. Um, I attempt to communicate. Let's, how do you spell that? Hail the external vessel. I believe I'm spelling that wrong, but like from Star Trek, hail, speak to. You reach for communication controls and establish a connection with the external vessel. A series of crackles and pops fill the cockpit before a voice comes through the speakers. Starlight Marauder to the Lexicon. Oh yeah, there he is. Same guy. Dear read us, we've arrived in response to your distress signal. Please prepare for a boarding party to assess the damage and provide any necessary assistance. Welcome to Sector Void. Thank you for the Thank you for the quick, let's see, quick reply. Starlight's Marauder. Lexicon copies. I will meet your team at the cargo holds. Copy that, Lexicon. The voice responds. We'll be sending over our boarding party momentarily. Please ensure your ship's atmosphere is safe for entry, and we will see you shortly. As you await the boarding party, you double-check the atmosphere readings on the console, ensuring the air quality is suitable for others to breathe. Once satisfied, you take a deep breath and prepare yourself for immediate impending encounter. Okay. Uh, I make my way to the cargo hold while cautiously grabbing my pistol, energy pistol, energy blaster, and strapping it around my waist, my utility belt, though not showing it on the front, but the side. Okay, let's see, spelled consciously wrong. Let's see what happens here. You make your way to the cargo hold, your footsteps quiet and deliberate. As you approach the airlock, you feel the weight of the energy blaster resting against your hip, a silent guardian. The airlock indicators show that the external vessel has initiated the pressurization process. The seconds ticking by as the pressure equalizes. With a hiss, the airlock door slides open, revealing a group of four people clad in sleek environmental suits. Okay, so we have four individuals. I casually say, "Good morning. Welcome aboard." As you can see, it's a bit dark in here. Mind your step. Just kind of give a little sense of humor to my character. As you greet the boarding party, they nod in response, their visors adjusting to the dim lighting of the cargo hold. They move cautiously inside, their footsteps echoing softly as they follow you. I apologize for the darkness, you explained. I had to disable some non-essential systems to conserve power. The leader of the group, easily identified by its insignia on their suit, gives a nod of understanding. Let's see. Besides your ship name, what should I call you all? The leader of the group speaks up, their voices slightly muffled by the environmental suit. You can call us the Starlight Marauders. I'm Captain Rowan. This is my first mate, Leela, and air engineers Tark and Seb. Nice to meet you all. Name is Lex, obviously. I say, not so original. I know, but at least I never forget my ship's name. Just trying to see if they laugh. Captain Rowan and the rest of the Starlight share a chuckle at your self-deprecating humor, and the tension in the cargo hold lightens up somewhat. Well, Lex, Captain Rowan says, we're here to help you out. Let's take a look at those engines of yours and see what we can do to get you back up and running. Okay. All right. So let's check on the summarization. Oh, there it goes. You see, it's okay. It's really adding it to it now. Portable communicator. It looks like it adds at least way back in line, stating your app in response to the Shrek signal. It's really way back in there, but you know what? It is working. So that's all I really need to worry about. I do kind of wish it adds to the story cards, but again, I think that's the memory that we can't really see. In any event, that does seem to be working, and judging by the contact size, we are already um, kind of nearing the halfway mark, and the instructions are a small portion here with everything else. So it does seem to be working out okay. Okay, do what you got to do. I will be here if you need any help. The ship's layout is relatively simple to navigate. Okay. Captain Rowan nods. The Starlight Marauders begin their assessment of the damaged engines. They move with a practiced efficiency. Their voices are calm murmur in the dimly lit cargo hold. You observe them, taking note of their expertise and professionalism. After a few moments, Tark, the engineer, calls out to you. Lex, we're going to need access to the engine room. Do you have any tools we can borrow? Let's see. I'll tell him I have a universal toolkit in the engineering, let's see, engineering room down the hall to the left. Okay. To acknowledges your response and heads towards the engineering room with Leela accompanying him. Them. They return moments later with the Universal Toolkit. As you begin working on the engines, you take the opportunity to inspect the rest of the cargo hold. The dim emergency lights cast a eerie glow over the precious containers, making them appear even more valuable. Let's see. Lex mumbles, speaks softly about his goal to get these delivered to planet, let's say Noble, which happens to be on the edge of, oops, Sector Void. I'm just trying to give the AI a little goal, an end goal for this overall, quest we're on. So, Space Quest. About his goal to get this delivered to Planet Noble, which happens to be on the edge of Sector Void. Okay, just a little context for the AI to work on while we're still getting through this repair. As you converse with the Starlit Marauders, you can't help but feel a sense of gratitude for their insistence. The airspace professional give you hope that your journey to Planet Noble might still be possible. Captain Rower and Zap continue their work on the engines, their hands moving. Now, that wasn't um, entirely what wanted to do. So Lex speaks softly about his goal. I wasn't too specific either. So let's erase this. What I meant to say was this, and it's Lennox speaks softly to himself as he looks at the cargo, reminding himself, whoops, about his goal to speak softly to himself as he looks at the cargo. Let's just do that. Okay, continue. After what feels like an eternity, the tug finally calls out to you. Lex, we managed to patch up the damaged engines temporarily. It won't be a smooth ride, but it should get you to your nearest space station for proper repairs. You walk back over to the group and you gaze lingering at the makeshift repairs. Okay, so let's add a let's add a few things to our story cards. So we have location. We have So the cool thing about the automatic generation is that it will fill in details based on what I type right here. So the lexicon, locate is a mysterious and dangerous world. That's not what it is. Let's try this. Sometimes it gets us right. Let's see. Location, lexicon, my personal transport vessel. Okay, let's see if it works out like that. There we go. Lexicon is a heavily modified transport vessel that has been retrofitted for the latest cloaking invasion technology. It is able to ship slip past the most advanced scanners undetected through the laws. Okay, that works. Then we got to do Planet Noble, the Planet Noble on the edge of Sector Void, end game location to deliver valuable cargo. I like how it does take out the parentheses around that little kind of AI hunt. Planet Noble is located on the edge of Sector Void, known to be a treacherous and lawless section of the Milky Way. It is an endgame location for the transporters like Lex who are tasked with delivering a valuable cargo to the planet. Rumors say the planet has been hidden vault where most valuable and rarest items in the galaxy are kept. Okay, that's endgame location for transport. That's not bad. Maybe a collector lives on there or something. So then we have factions. I think we had from earlier. Let me copy over. Let's see. The Starlight Marauders. Copy. Okay. Then when there's a faction, there are factions, so we have to. Whoops, didn't copy over. Starlight Marauders. I don't remember how to spell that. Let's see. Starlight. Copy. There we go. Faction auto generate. That's really not good. Let's see if I can kind of get it just underneath the screen. There we go. Sorry guys, I just want to get this created for the story cards as we go. Marauders. Let's see what it says about this. Should I copy that? The Sarmaz are a notorious group of pirates that terrorize a lawless sector of the Milky. Their group ships are sec. Huh. Well, they weren't. They are being helpful now. I wonder if. No, I truly think they are kind of like a. What do you call them? Tow trucks of space. So let's say faction, a helpful group of uh, helpful clan of high tech space travelers that pass through the sector void. All right. A clever and technologically advanced clan of space travelers known to venture into the lawless depths of Sector Void. Despite their fearsome name, they are a benevolent group that often assist those in need with the sector, often trade or transport services for other wanderers who dare roam the void. Okay, that's that's better. I like that. Okay, who else we got? I can't forget about adding cards when we kind of like when I play my solo RPGs, I have the other documents where I update locations and factions and characters. Well, we can add character info. We have Captain Rorin. Let's see, NPCs, NPC, Captain Rorin, leader of the Starlight Marauders. Rumor has it Captain Rowan is banned the space pirates, known as the Sun, a fearsome crew and all deceptive void known. Well, he's not a. All right, that's obviously not going to work out. I guess we won't do NPCs for now, but we have these three cards based on. I guess let's just track. Um, well, maybe I just don't need to use the auto generates. So I'll do custom NPC. We continue. What was his name? Captain Rorin, the leader and captain of the Starlight Marauders. Okay, so we have Rorin, Captain Marauders. All right. Yeah. So Captain Rorin, the rest of the Starlight. Let's see. The leader of the group speaks up. You can call me Starlight. I'm Captain Rorin. That's my first mate, Leela. Blah blah blah. Okay, good. All right, let's get back to the story. Oh, all right, there it is. Just trying to get this back on the screen. You walk by over the group and gaze. Okay, that will work just fine. Thank Thanks a million. Thanks a million. All right, that will work. Captain Rower nods, satisfaction etched on his face. Glad to hear it. Lex will accompany you to the nearest space station to ensure you make it there safely. We wouldn't want to leave a fellow space sphere stranded in the sector void. As you make your way back to the cockpit, the Starlight Marauders follow, unstrapping their tools and equipment as they go. Okay, so are all of are all four of you joining, or some of you going back to your ship? Captain Ron responds, all four of us will be joining you on the journey to the nearest space station. It's always best to have an extra hand, especially in the sector space. We'll make sure you get there safely. As you reach the cockpit, you offer the Marauders their main seats while you continue to stand observing the instructions and controls. Instruments and controls. So, who, what about your ship? Do you have a team aboard? I'm just kind of confused why it's following me. Captain Rory settles into the co-pilot seat, while Leela, Tark, and Zeph take their remaining seats. We have a small crew on the ship to maintain its crews and monitor the situation here, Captain Rory explains. So there's more than just four of them. They're aware of our plans and will follow us to the nearest space station on the way. Okay, that sounds that sounds reasonable. Yes, I will take this. I guess I'll take lead. Let's just say, yes, I will fly this puppy to the nearest station. What are the coordinates? What are the coordinates? Roy glances over the console and rattles off a series of coordinates for the nearest space station. You enter the information into the navigation system, and the console beeps in confirmation. The hum of the engines grows louder as you power up the ship, the vibrations cruising through the hole beneath your feet. Well, that's a good sound. A bit louder than before, but at least something turned on this time. Okay. As the lexicon comes to life, the dimly lit cockpit flickers to life, illuminating the control panel and the faces of your newfound allies. The Starlight Marauders glance around, taking in the surroundings as they settle into their seats. Captain Rurin gives you a firm nod, signaling that you are ready to depart. You know, I have to stay in Sector Void. This casual meet is considered a miracle. I didn't expect such friendliness to occur. Everyone smiles. Well, even in a place like the Sector Void, you can still find unexpected allies. We're just glad that we could be here to help. With the coordinates set and Starlight Marauders on board, you initiate the departure sequence. The Lexicon shudders as it disengages from the abandoned ship it had been anchored to. What? Hold on a second. Lexicon shudders as it disengages from the abandoned ship it had been anchored to. Okay, I'll just roll with it. So, let's say whoops, I sit down in the main captain's chair and spin around once with a smile on my face, just to kind of be a little, a little friendly, kind of free will, kind of charismatic. Feeling a sense of relief wash over you, settle into your main captain's chair, spinning around once you satisfied smile on your face. The hum of the engines and the soft glow that consecrates a soothing ambience to the cockpit. The stark contrast, the cold, dark void of the space outside. As the Lexicon begins its journey to the nearest space station, you can't help but marvel at the unexpected turn of events. Okay, the AI definitely has some repetitiveness, but that's okay. Like you can't help but marvel. You can't help is basically said a lot, and then there's like the echoing footsteps through the hole. Now all that stuff is passable. It's tolerable. Okay. Let's see. After a good amount of travel and chatter with the crew, we approach the lexicon approaches a let's throw in one of my original sector void locations. So a makeshift pit stop, actually a large asteroid with a vast amount, oops, vast station built into it. There is countless ships, let's see, alien life, ships and activity clearly visible on this hub of commerce. Moments after arrival, a clear voice speaks through Lex's console, relaying some standard introductory information. Welcome to Stop Haven, your stop for heaven. Please land on dock 4A. Okay, so this is Stop Haven. I wanted to throw this in here. Let's see what AI can run here. Stop Haven, a neutral pit stop in space for travelers, criminals. All right, let's see what it says. Stop Haven is a neutral pit stop in the depths of the sector void. It accepts travelers, small groups, and criminals alike. Run by the enigmatic Zeltrax, the outpost offers a wide range of services from refueling, repairs, and more illicit offerings such as weapons trading on the ground, fighting rings. Rumors have surfaced that there is a hidden black market deep in the outpost where rare and valuable artifacts can be bought for the right price. Okay, that's Stop Haven. That's a good little quick summary of Stop Haven. All right, let's see what the AI has to say after my story entry here. All right. The voice's calm and welcoming tone puts you at ease as you navigate the lexicon towards Dock 4A. The massive asteroid base looms, larger in your viewport. Its intricate network of docks and structures are a testament to its engineering prowess and those who inhabit the space. As you maneuver your ship into position, the Starlight Marauders remains quiet, taking in the sights of the bustling space station. I've heard of this place back on Earth. We would call this a truck stop. Oh, the truck stop. Excuse me. So let's see here. The Starlight Marauders truckload big comparison. Captain Rowan adds that's an apt description. Like it's a place where travelers and refuel, repair, resupply, but it's also a hub for illicit activities, much like the old Wild West towns back on Earth. Then I will fit right in. Okay, so as you expertly guide the lexicon towards Dock 4A, the enormous asteroid base looms larger in your viewport. The intricate network of docks and structures, yes, is a testament to the impressive engineering capabilities of those who inhabit. We know this. Sorry for the repeats. Starlight Marauders remain quiet, taking. I know we just said this stuff. Let's retry. I don't think we re. Okay. The asteroid's base's automated systems activate, allowing the docking clamps to securely latch onto your ship. You feel a slight jolt as the connection is made. The engines power down with a soft whine. The sudden stillness is a stark reminder of the long journey you've just completed and the challenges that still lie ahead. Well, Lex, all right. I spin once again around in my chair and look to Rorin, was it? Captain Rorin, yep, and extend a handshake. As you spin around your chair, you extend the hand to Rowan. A friendly smile on your face, Rowan takes your hand in a firm grip, returning the gesture with a genuine smile of your own. It seems our journey together has come to an end, Captain Rowan says, a hint of nostalgia in her voice. Okay, so um, I think we can at least get to. I'm reaching almost 50 minutes on my record here. I believe we can at least get onto the platform of. We can at least step on to Stop Haven just to explore it a bit. So let's see. Where will you four be off to now? Any lucky gamblers here? just the casino. Hopefully it sees that as some humor. Captain Rowe chuckles and shakes her head. No, we're not much for gambling, but we're flying, making some repairs to our ship before heading back into the sector void. Who knows? We might cross paths once again in some day. All right. Let's see. I unbuckle my seatbelt if there is one. Stand up and clean off my coat, my overcoat, smiling at his crew with a thumbs up. As you unbuckle your seatbelt and stand up, you take a moment to brush off your overcoat, feeling a sense of accomplishment. You turn to your Starlight Marauders, giving them a thumbs up and a warm smile. The crew returns a gesture, their faces reflecting a mixture of gratitude and camaraderie. Okay, be careful out there, as you may be the only nicest, or let's say friendliest, friendliest humans in in this sector. But I have a strange feeling, Rowan, that you've seen your fair share of danger. Let's see what it says to that. Captain Rowan's eyes narrow slightly, and a fleeting expression crossing their face before they break into a knowing smile. You're right, Lex. We've had our fair share of encounters of danger in the sector void. That's all part of the adventure, isn't it? You're not in agreement, understanding the thrill and challenge that comes with exploring the unknown expanse of space. All right, so I leave the cockpit with them as let's say, go their separate ways onto the Stop Haven docks. I take a pause and look back at the cargo holds. The cargo. As you stand in the cargo hold, taking one last look at the precious containers, you can't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. Despite the challenges you faced, you managed to protect your valuable cargo and find assistance when you needed it most. The dim emergency lights cast long shadows across the hold, giving the space an eerie yet satisfying ambience. Okay, I leave the ship with my belongings, lock up the door, or something, lock up the door, and enter the dock, the thriving, active dock of Stophaven. Let's see what it does to at least give some closure here before we continue on episode two. I'm definitely going to do in the next couple days. As you step out of the lexicon and onto the bustling dock of Stophaven, the sudden surge of activity is a stark contrast to the stillness of your ship. The air is filled with the hum of conversations, the clang of machinery, and the distant whir of ships taking off and landing. You take a deep breath, savoring the mix of metallic industrial scents that fill the station's atmosphere. Okay, I think we'll stop there. I mean, this wasn't really like a heavily on conflict, but it was great on conversation, some story building, some interacting, and some just general. There's some humor. I tried to give my character a little charisma, but yeah, it was a really good mix of just kind of some calm things and just some discovery, some world building, some character building, and some. I did like the interaction with the Marauders. So they have gone their way, and will they appear in the future? I don't really know, but for now, before I close off the episode, let's take a look at the story summary to see how far it got. The Ashford base houses a mix of legal and illicit activities. Rowan and Marauders plan to continue their voyage to the Sector Void. And then, okay, so it's almost I'd say it's probably right around this part here. So it's catching up. It really is. Story cards. is just what I've been putting in so far. We have Stop Haven. Details remains unaffected, and everything else is the same. So, well, there you go, guys. Didn't expect to put my Sector Void into AI Dungeon, but I was really curious how it would do sci-fi because I don't really do much sci-fi on AI Dungeon, mostly fantasy-based or post-apocalyptic stuff. So, and I also have Misfortune in the background, uh, with a lot of story cards from pretty much the entire my entire Misfortune series put into AI Dungeon when it comes to like a huge summary of what happens from episode 132 or so. And then I have a bunch of story cards that detail locations, characters, and some races and factions, of course, because there was a handful of factions: the Royalists, the Danger House, the Misfits, and my characters. So, but in any event, that was episode one of Sector Void AI Dungeon. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time on 830 RPG.